So this video is about a piece I wrote called Solitude. It's for solo piano. And I just want to describe certain things that stick out to me after having written it, and certain things that I did think of while writing it. Although a lot of it was highly intuitive, I wrote this piece really quickly and I chose certain chords and melodic lines and pitches just based on my ear, and I wasn't really thinking of progressions, that sort of thing. So instead of looking at this from a highly analytical point of view, I just want to share certain things that stick out to me that I pay attention to, if that makes sense. This was the starting point of the composition. I really wanted the chords to be simple. Now, a lot of times when I'm writing, I choose very not complex, but elaborate voicings, and I choose to have a lot of notes. There's a lot going on, but for this one, I just wanted to almost highlight the beauty of a single triad, just 3 notes. And for me, it's quite important that these inner chords are played separate, so not like this. Because these inner lines, even though one may not describe them as very melodic, they're kind of on their own. And based on where they're moving, it shifts the whole harmony surrounding it. And I wanted something very static. And when the bass line does move, I wanted to move it by half steps or whole steps, which is why you hear it slowly descending like so. Moving on, if you pay attention to this lower line, it's moving by half step. This section here, the same concept as the beginning. I just wanted to focus on the triad. And in this case, I wanted to accompany it with a slight bit of dissonance. Let's go to the piano just so we can hear it clearly. This doesn't sound dissonant to me at all. Depends on the context as well, but if you reduce those pitches, you really feel this kind of pit. So that's kind of what I was going for. I guess not what I was going for, it's what attracted me to these types of chord movements and sounds within these sections. In this section here, I wanted to choose 2 places or 2 states, something a little brighter and warmer, and something that always pulls you back to maybe a darker space. And by going back and forth, it's sort of like coexisting. And if you were to break these down, it's E major plus B major, C major plus A flat major. And then these wide chords here. Maybe it's just kind of like a hug to yourself. And the falling chords, again, I'm choosing 2 chords, a perfect fourth plus a a major triad in second inversion. Again, perfect fourth, a major triad in second inversion. The voicing to me is very specific, because if you were to play those not exact, but play those chords voiced differently, something like that, it may be more elaborate, but a lot changes. There's something about this spacing in this register compared to something higher that spoke to me in the moment. I wanted something that really felt like you are standing still, but you're kind of breathing up and down. And kind of led by your thoughts. I don't know. And in previous iterations of this piece, where I was just playing through it before recording, there have been times where I would add more of a melody on top of these chords and maybe extend this section and improvise a little bit. But the day of the recording, I just decided to keep it at that. I really wanted to keep things simple. So I'm going to change the patch here so it's easier to hear. So we have these final bottom chords before the coda, I guess you could call it. I just felt like after this, to me, it was very obvious that this thought, I wanted to leave this thought as is and conclude it in a way that kind of highlights this resting quality, a little hopeful, but almost like you're looking back on something and you're kind of wondering certain things, but you're at peace. And I'm still hearing these chords in my head. So if you add that to the context, this is it leaves something a little unresolved. So I think I'll leave it at that. I hope this was interesting to you all. Like I said before, this is kind of tricky because, as many of you know, those that compose, it's very hard to go back and dissect things. But still, I think this might be useful to some, just to give you all an insight in terms of how a piece gets formed from an initial idea and certain things that stand out to me, that sort of thing. That will be all. I'll see you very soon.